Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to High Dragons. Today with day 3 and 4 of the Barrens review. For today's video I have a lot of cards to review and we are wild players, so I think we can skim over a few cards that are obviously unplayable and not waste too much of our time, right? So I'm going to try to highlight the cards that are actually why relevant as to not make the video so long. So yeah, let's start with Living Seed, a support for Beast Druid, and Beast Druid never been actually a thing in wild, but this card directly supports decks with fewer beasts rather than decks with a lot of beasts because it's a specific tutor. This is great in Hadronox. Hadronox probably won't be much better because grindy decks are not very flavor in this meta, and I don't think they're going to be going forward. So next we have Flurry, 0 mana, freeze a random minion at rank 2. So at 5 mana it freezes 2 random enemy minions. And at 5 mana, freezing 2 random enemy minions for 0, it's okay, but not enough to guarantee that it goes into a deck. I don't think it. Well, maybe Mosaki plays this because it's already free, but I don't think so. So maybe in some sort of freeze mage, but right now there's just no place for this card. Mark of the Spatial, 2 mana +2/+2. If it has taunt, you get a copy. So this will be insane in Aggro Druid. The Aggro Druid had good taunts that were cheap, but it doesn't. Maybe you can play target dummy with this, but that doesn't seem too good. Although target dummy with a big N is interesting to say the least. Priest of Anshe, or Priest of whatever. If you restore health this turn, gain +3/+3 in Rasa. If your hero power already goes 0, you can get this going. But a 5 mana 8/8 taunt is not getting you anywhere really. And even if in a more tempo aggro priest, nah, this never works. Not wide playable. Then we have Bloodshard Bristleback, a card that's supposed to be one of the reward cards for emptying your deck. That's a thing Warlock seems to be doing. And this has life steal, and if your deck is almost empty, you deal 6 damage with life steal. Interesting card. Maybe Reno plays one of these cards because Reno tends to draw a lot, but otherwise, I don't see this being played. Nah, Darkler never plays this. It's a dead card if you're not in that exact situation. Soulren, this is the card that's supposed to activate this game plan. This is basically like that Lich King spell, but instead of destroying its damage. That Lich King spell was not very good, especially not in control versus control. So this is not going to be good either probably. In while you have so many board clears that you don't need this. Next we have the Warlock legendary Dancing Roam. How good this is depends on how good shadow spells are and what spells become shadow from the wild format. This is very cheap also, so I can't see this seeing play in any deck that can fit a couple of shadow spells, because whenever you cast any shadow spell with this, it only costs 3 mana. So Grimoire of Sacrifice, you destroy a friendly minion to deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. This is basically Plague of Flames mini, but it doesn't destroy your entire field, just one minion. Yeah, we probably will be seeing a lot of this card in some combo warlocks like Mechatun and whatnot, because it's very efficient clear. In Reno, I don't think so. Maybe in Cublo you see this. As we have Veteran War Medic, after you cast a Holy Spell, you summon a 2/2 Medic with Life Till Disease. Not very interesting in Wild, although all Librams are Holy Spells. That's been confirmed. It's hard to tell. I don't think swarming the board with Life Till minions it's something you are looking forward to doing Wild. Invigorating Sermon, this is a card that's it's hard to say how good this effect is because it costs so much to cast. I mean, for its cost, it's very efficient because it's not only the minions in your deck that it is buffing, it's also a shorter term buff in your hand and also an immediate temp buff in your field. I mean, this probably can see play in like hand buff paladin because it's a hand buff but also a hand buff for your entire deck and also buff your entire field as well. I mean, it's very expensive, but it's also kind of strong. Don't underestimate this card. It's a real one. She has Rush, Divine Shield, it's even cost, and whenever it attacks, reduce the cost of holy spells in your hand by one. Holy spells, all holy spells in your hand by one. She basically reduces the cost of all your Librams as well, because all Librams are holy. So she's basically another Libram discount card that comes at the cost of her attacking, but she has Rush and Divine Shield, and on a 4 mana minion, 4 attack with Rush, it's a lot. I mean, Celiax is 3, 4, 5 mana. Of course, Celiax has Stone, Life to all that stuff, but Rush is very good always. Tavish Stormpite, this card is insane. There's used so many combos with this. Like any 6 mana base that you can get to attack, like that one's Dirty Rat Scorpion that costs 6, can summon Thunder Rhino, and Thunder Rhino can basically summon your entire deck because it's charge, and then any beast you summon also has charge. So yeah, there's some pretty wild combos you can do with this, even some OTKs, because all the stuff you're going to summon from your deck has charge. Sure, your deck will be a mismatch of random beasts, but if you can get to the combo fast enough, which you probably can because Hunter now has a lot of specific card tutoring and deck discovering and whatnot, you can probably assemble the combo quite easily and pull it off. So it's nice that Hunter is getting a boost this big to deck building. Amazing card. Next we have a Mage legendary, Barden Downgrust. It's basically Frost Nova on a stick. So yeah, this card is insane. It's very good at keeping control of the field. I don't think Secret Mage plays this, but any other deck, any other Mage deck probably wants to play this because it's so high value. Then we have Firemancer Flurk, and this card is absolutely bonkers. This is a whole new level of what the fuck. So to start with, you know there's a 1 mana Murloc that gives another Murloc poisonous. So right off the bat you have a 3 mana combo that clears your opponent's field. And Shaman also have Ice Fishing, which can tutor these 2 cards that I'm talking about. People are saying that outside of Murloc Shaman, you can play this combo to fight against Darkler and whatnot in Shaman. I mean, this card is insane, right? It deals damage to the entire enemy board. It deals damage to your opponent's face. It's cheap. Shaman has a card that generates Murlocs infinitely. Shaman has a card that makes Murlocs cost 1. So yeah, Shaman got tired of being crap and just decided to destroy the meta, I guess. Warzone Boy, this is pack filler. I mean, it's a very good one drop, and Warrior loves very good one drops that have high utility. Maybe you see this in some Tempo Age Warrior. I don't think you see this in Pirate, so then we have another card that's very, very, very controversial. Paralytic Poison. So, the thing with this card is people are saying this will break Kingsbane forever and make it super obnoxious, and that's not entirely true. Like, how often do you see yourself trading with your Kingsbane? Like, sure, this makes the Big Priest matchup better, probably because you can attack into their threats, but you can only attack one of them at a time. So yeah, I mean, this is probably a one-off in Kingsbane, especially if Nitro Boost gets nerfed as everyone's expecting. But I don't think this is a card that is going to break Kingsbane forever and make it tier 0 or whatever. Now, on the other hand, this card is amazing in Godless. Having your life steal weapon at any stage of the game make you immune while attacking. It's just insane. You just can heal forever, and this card makes this plus the Swashbuckler buff makes the matchup against Kingsbane way better. Like, we are seeing a potential contender to be a direct counter to Kingsbane with this, and also overall makes the deck a lot better, because in that deck you actually do want to trade with your weapon because it has life steal and now you are immune, so you can heal more than what you take. Then we have Druid Legendary, that when you cast a nature spell you get another friendly minion +2/+2. Depending on what cards are nature, you can probably see this in Aggro Druid. Like, it was confirmed already that Lightning Bloom was going to be as a nature spell. Probably Nature Studies is also a nature spell. If enough good spells are given the nature tag, you just play this in our druid and make your board super huge and win the game from there. Another sigil for Demon Hunter, this one silences. This is very interesting because it's not a card that you just play to get lethal. It's a card you have to set up to get lethal later, and so it has a direct counterplay in that regard. I don't think it's good enough to see playing wild, especially because it's not odd, but it's a good card design, I think. Then we have Razormar Battleguard, another card that's trying to push this aggro town druid. I don't think there are enough aggressive towns in wild to guarantee you play this in aggro druid. No, I don't think this payoff is good enough to guarantee you play this card. Then we have another Druid Legendary. After a friendly minion with Taunt dies, you summon a new copy of it without Taunt. Now right away, this with Grey Bows is a very funny combo. Other than that, you probably play this in, Hadronoc's Taunt Druid, which seems to be getting some support. This card is very interesting and it's also very versatile, but sadly Druid in Wild it's so limiting in what it can play that all the cool cards just get pushed away, and that makes me mad because of how wild card design has worked in the past. Well, I know some people will experiment with this, and it's going to be fun at least. Next we have Vengeful Spirit. That rattle supporting Demon Hunter, it's more than a meme it seems. There's a legendary that supports this whole playstyle. It's on any Dead Rattle minions that you can draw with this, and you draw two. Sure, 4 mana it's kind of expensive, but it's still two specific minions that you put in your deck and you can tutor. So yeah, look out for that. I mean, the Rattle Demon Hunter might be an actual deck. Then we have Barrens Blacksmith, and this looks like pack filler. It's probably very strong in standard if you think about it, because of how board centric standard is about to become. And while people say you can play this with Broom and it gives your board a huge buff, +2/+2 is a lot. You can play this in Odd Paladin with Broom and give your dudes a lot of stats. Do you play a 6 mana combo that gives your board +2/+2? I think it's worth trying, especially because Odd Paladin already plays that stupid corrupt statue. I think you can trade that for this because it's immediately better than the stupid statue. So then we have the card I was talking about in Demon Hunter, the Death Rattle payoff card and the deck building cornerstone of the deck. Summon 3 Death Rattle minions that cost 5 or less. For 7 mana, you're summoning like 15 mana worth of stats from your deck. Death Rattles. So if you wanted to play like old Nosot, Reno, Demon Hunter, and throw in some big demons also, you probably could. I mean, this deck is. Then we have the expansion. It's introducing a couple of structures, cards that can attack, like that one legendary from Witchwood. So this one is 3 mana, can attack of course, and after your opponent plays a minion, you get a 2/2. This is very interesting. It's like odd decks against aggro decks. But the fact that this is play and not summon, it's a huge letdown. I don't think this makes the cut because of that. Other aggro decks are not that minion heavy this day, like. And now we have the other structure. Crossroads, Watch Pose. Can attack as well, cost 4, but when your opponent casts a spell, your minion get +1/+1. And already this is kinda better because it gives like a slight layer of resistance against board clears, but just slight. You can maybe consider this in some event decks, but I also don't think it makes the cut. It's an interesting tech card. Next we have the Warrior Legendary Rokara. When a friendly minion attacks and survives, it gets +1/+1. Basically, it gives all your minions the Darius Crowley effect. This is very good against aggro in what's probably an aggro deck. Don't think you played this in Pirate Warrior, obviously, but Warrior is getting a lot of payoff cards for playing tempo style. I'm not sure if that deck will concentrate, if that deck got enough support to exist, but if it doesn't, you can just play this in Galacron Warrior, which is like the closest thing, and it's also getting buff. That deck was already borderland playable, and now with all the support it gets, probably it's playable now. And this is a very good card there. As we have a new priest legendary, which is kinda weird. So if you have restore health this turn, Cyrella will deal that much damage to all enemy minions. I don't think you play this in Rhino Priest because that deck is very tight and can't fit much outside synergy like this. But it's a right control card that can clear boards with minimum effort. It doesn't need that much support because Priest already does this naturally. So expect to see people trying to play with this card. Next we have Kargar Battle Scar. I don't think there's a deck in WoW that can afford to play both structures and then pay 7 mana to get a boss of stats and nothing else. 7 mana is way too late to be getting a huge board, especially ones that's dependent on playing suboptimal on playing suboptimal cards. Then we have the rank spell for Paladin Conviction. Give a random friendly minion plus 3 attack, and this is insane. Like, as is. Because Odd Paladin already plays a spell that does this. Of course, it's not random, it's target, but this one gets better and gets 2 random friendly minions at 5 mana. I don't think you ever get to 10 mana to play this in an aggro deck. But 5 mana is more feasible. And at that point, you're giving 2 minions plus 3 attack for 1 mana. And that's insane. There's a couple probable OTK you can do with this Rally and some charge minions. But even outside of that meme deck, you probably just play this in Out Paladin as is because it's very good. So yeah, those were all the cards revealed for day 3 and 4. Being really honest with you, we all know that most of them won't see any play and we won't see outside of the reveal season. But overall, I think the power level of the expansion is very high in comparison to the average expansion. And that's probably because of the core set and the lack of cards that limit the sign space. For example, Hunter got such a crazy legendary because Thunder Rhino is no longer in standard. And Mage got that crazy legendary because the core set eliminated a lot of problematic free spells. So as I predicted, the core set actually opened the way for stronger cards to be printing sets. And that's exactly what we got. And as a subproduct of that, decks in Wild that previously didn't see much support are getting support, and that's something that I love. So I'm looking forward to the reveal stream. I'm looking forward to this expansion, and I am already looking forward to next expansion as well, because this is something that can use improve the game from here and improve the metagame for a while. So yeah, hope you like the cards. You can tell me what you think about them, and see you next time. Bye.